to be a model, I like beauty, I want to try makeup, because before I was like tomboyish, heavy on the ish. Hello, welcome to my channel, 100 Days with Kajo. It is day 31 of building our personal constitution. We are in our section community. We just finished health and wellness. We just finished routines, grinding articles, our preamble, why we need a personal constitution. So if you are new and you have no idea what I'm talking about, definitely go check those videos out. But I'm trying to get better at this too. Our personal constitution is a living, breathing document that has our boundaries, our standards, our expectations for our life, and a place for us to ground ourselves when we feel like we don't know who we are, when we feel lost, when we feel like we're all out of whack. That's why we need a personal constitution. In today's video, we'll be going over how you will find community. Our last video, we just talked about how to define our community, because it's super important to understand our interests and what we like and what we want to align ourselves with. But like, okay, now we figure that out. Where do we go? Where do we look? The answers are here. We are never always in the same place, physically, mentally, spiritually, nada. When you change as a person, so does your environment, and so do the communities that you want to engage with. The communities that 12-year-old me versus 24-year-old me want to be a part of are completely different. I can't base everything I want to do off of just one point in my life. It changes with me. Okay, for example, this is so embarrassing. It's not embarrassing, but it is, at least for me. So when I was in middle school and a little bit of high school, I played basketball just a little bit. I wasn't even like that big of a basketball fan. I didn't really care for it much. I thought it was fun. It was cool. But it got really serious in high school, and I was thinking, okay, like, I no longer align with this. Like, it was fun. It was cool. We were chit-chatting. It was fun to like learn a new skill, but it was time to let it go. And thank God I let it go, because when I stepped out of that, I stepped into, you know, my pretty girl. I mean, not that I wasn't before. Stop it. But I stepped into my, I want to be a model. I like beauty. I want to try makeup, because before I was like tomboyish, heavy on the ish, right? And I didn't really dive into the other stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm done with that. Like, I no longer align with that. And it's because I was changing. I was physically, mentally, spiritually changing. It doesn't even have to be something so dramatic and traumatic. And oh my God. It could just be like, you know what? I no longer even like that. So we're going to create a strategy on how to navigate different parts of your life. More like an evaluation method. The first thing you want to do is, of course, evaluate the communities that you are already participating and engaging with. You need to reflect on any single indicator for change. For instance, with the communities that you are with at this moment, is it toxic or negative? Do you feel drained every time you go there and you have to talk to people, and it just leaves you feeling like even worse? You don't need to be a part of that. Is there misalignment? Did you used to really like it and love it, and it's not toxic and nobody's bad, everyone's nice, but you no longer like it anymore, it doesn't interest you anymore? Then obviously you need to like take a step back. Do you feel excluded or unheard? What's the point of being a part of a community that's doing so much for you or for other people, but you feel like you're in the back, hidden? Nobody wants to talk to you, nobody wants to hear you out. Are you even part of the community, or are you just a fly on the wall? Are there a lack of boundaries? Do you feel like people don't respect what you say, and that people walk all over each other, and that it's all over the place and it doesn't make you feel safe? You need to walk away. Let's say it's perfect, everything's going well, the mission or the purpose of your community is doing great, but there's a lack of participation and a lack of engagement, and you were there for the people. It's okay to let it go. You don't have to stay loyal to that community. You just need to find what works for you and where you find people that you can actually connect with. What's the point of joining a community that nobody is in? That's not even a community. You know, come on, common sense. Does it make you feel unfulfilled? Okay, maybe it's doing great, maybe there's active engagement, maybe it's not toxic, maybe there's beautiful boundaries, but it doesn't make you happy. This kind of aligns with misalignment a little bit. But maybe this community actually lines up perfectly with your values and your belief, but it just doesn't fulfill you in the way that you thought it would. Maybe you need to find a different kind of community that does. For example, let's say you love art and you love creativity, and then you join like a pottery community, but you don't really feel fulfilled by it, and you're like, yeah, I'm doing good, and people are nice, but like, I'm not that girl. And then you try out like water painting or watercolor painting, and then you love it, and you're super happy, and you're flourishing. You see how like you don't have to do a complete 180. Maybe you just have to kind of, you know, shift a little horizontal shift, you know, just like that, And lastly, is there like any unresolved conflict? Is there someone that you kind of have a problem with, or like you feel like you kind of have to be quiet and that you're walking on eggshells? You don't want to be in that type of community. You don't want to feel like there's somebody over your shoulder and you're scared and you don't know what's going to happen. Girl, once you evaluate the communities that you are currently participating and engaging in, and you find that there are some negative indicators that you need to change or at least make a shift, take that note and take a step back. It's okay to have to take a step back. It's okay to remove yourself. It's not the end of the world. All right, number 2 of evaluating and creating a strategy of finding community is to write ways you could find community. And putting this in your personal constitution and sitting down and thinking about it before you have to like go out there and do it is a lot more beneficial than having to figure it out while you are trying to actively find a community. For instance, I typically use social media. I like to look at the library website or see what's going on at the library, because literally anything can be happening. I went to a cooking class at a library and we made mushroom rosetta. It was really cute. It was really fun. I was like, oh, maybe I'll come again. Maybe I might not. Met some nice people. You can go to your local community centers, just search around, walk in, just see if they have any brochures, see what's going on there, try something out. You're like, you know what, I'm gonna try one thing out this week or one thing out this month. And that at least gives you a feel of what they have available and the type of people that you might meet, because people will then tell you like, oh yeah, like I do this on Saturday, but like on this day, this is what we do and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh wow, I'll definitely have to check it out. People who go to community centers, who go to the libraries, and who go to these community type events are willing to share what's going on around you. You can find any classes or workshops. I know I did a Pilates class. I met this one girl. I think she's an actor and she's also in school. She was super nice. We connected on social media. So like whenever we do want to hang out, we could hang out. You don't necessarily have to pick a workout class. However, I will say it is probably the easiest thing to find and to engage with in the very beginning when you're a little shy. You don't know what's going on. You're like, you know what? I'm going to go to this yoga class. I'm going to go to this Zumba class. I'm going to go to blah, blah, blah. Whatever kind of piques your interest, where it's like a group activity and you don't necessarily have to talk, you just want to be around people. Definitely check out different classes and workshops, and then gradually you'll be talking to people. They'll tell you what's going on. You'll say, oh, actually there's a festival happening today. You're like, oh wow, I want to go to the festival. Then you go to the festival, then you find another community of people. You're like, oh yeah, we do juggling every Friday night and it's free, or like it's $5, and you're like, oh my god, I want to try juggling. And then boom, you find a community. One of my favorite ways to find community is using event platforms like Eventbrite and Ticketmaster. I have my issues with Ticketmaster. They are charging, okay? But definitely check that out. When I go on Eventbrite, you can literally find anything. You want something educational? Boom. You want something about music? Boom. You want something about food? Boom. You want something that's creative? Like, they literally have filters of what things you could select. And there's something happening every single day, I promise you. And even when I'm traveling to another state just for like a vacation or just for a road trip or whatever, I go on Eventbrite and I see what's happening. Because sometimes like I don't know anyone there, but Eventbrite will like tell me things that is going on. Like, you know what? Let me go check it out. And then let's say I don't like it. Okay, cool. Well, now I'm in the city. Let's see what's next door. Let's see what's down the street. And then boom, you find something. For instance, when I went to Chicago Fashion Week last year in October, I went to a forum. It's like the integration of tech and fashion. I can't remember the exact name of the event, but that's pretty much what it was about. And I found it on Eventbrite. I signed up for it. I go there and I meet amazing people who are working in tech, people who are in fashion, people who are in between, people who are a mix of things, people who have nothing to do with it. And we clicked, okay? And later on that night we went and had dinner, and later on that night we went out, and then I connected with at least like 7 or 10 people on my social media. And I know like, okay, whenever I go to Chicago, like if I want to do something, I'm like, hey, let's hang out. They're available, you know. Of course I have to check with them, but I was able to find a group of people that I liked in a city that I do not live in. And I know that whenever I go back, that I have at least something. I could be like, hey, do you know what's going on this weekend? They're like, oh yes, this and that. All because I looked on Eventbrite and I just signed up for an event I thought that was nice and cool and in line with the things that I like, which is fashion, education, just meeting people. And like, why not? Like, even if I didn't like it, I would have stuck it through and be like, okay, it's just a 2-hour event with a little cocktail hour. Like, it's not going to kill me. So there are definitely ways to find community. You just need to write down the ways that you would want to. And I gave you guys this list because maybe you're not someone that wants to do a workout class or a workshop and like be around people like immediately. You're like, whoa, I kind of want to plan for it. I don't want to work out, or like maybe you don't feel like comfortable doing that. Then it's like, okay, something like Eventbrite or something like the library. You know, you need to find you need to use ways that align with your personality. If you're more like a oh, I'd rather look at a brochure and then go, and then it's really chill, and it's not like you have to socialize. Okay, you need to write down ways that allow you to find community that don't force you to over socialize, again with the library or like social, just looking on social media. And the last thing I did want to say in ways to find community, you can also use like maybe religious institutions or centers and stuff. Maybe that's what you strongly align with, and it's like, okay, well, definitely go there, see what's going on, do volunteer work, because that allows you to engage with people who support the same causes as you do, and they will most likely tell you other causes or other organizations or other things that are happening around the city that you may like. The whole point of just stepping out into something is so that you connect with someone and they tell you more. A little FYI, I am creating a personalized affirmation app, and if you haven't done so already, go to my description box, join our emailing listing if you're interested for when it comes out, and to answer my survey so I understand what your needs are. Thank you, I love you, and let's continue with the rest of the video. And when you are writing ways of finding community, you also need to take account of your geographic location, your age, and your gender. The way girls find friends versus the way guys find friends may be different. Like for me, I could just walk up to a girl, say, "Oh my God, I love your dress," and be like, "Oh," and we chit chat, and then she's telling me about her hobbies. I'm like, "Oh my God, I love that," and then she invites me, and then we go, and then I find a community that I like. Okay, I can't say like guys don't do that, but I know us girls, we do that a lot. Age also matters, because let's say you are someone that likes to go out to a bar, or you like to go do things where it's like 21 and up, that has like cocktail hours and whatnot. Obviously, there's certain things you can't do when you're in a certain age demographic, so you need to think about your age. And you can also think about ways you may be able to find community when you grow older, or you can wait until you feel like you're gradually getting to that point. I know for me, when I'm in my 50s or in my 60s and I want to find community, I will definitely still be going to the library, still going to different community centers, and I will definitely still be using Eventbrite. But as far as like bars or clubs where I just run into people, or like parties or music festivals or concerts, not to say that I won't go to music festivals or concerts when I'm in my 50s or 60s, but I'm less likely to at a much older age than I am now when I'm 24. You don't have to completely change the way you're going to find community based on your age, but it is something to think about and to consider. And of course, your geographic location. Chicago, Illinois is different from Louisville, Kentucky, okay? There are a lot of similarities, don't get me wrong. Like, we have a lot of music festivals, art festivals, concerts, places to volunteer, community centers, a lot of programs at our libraries and stuff happening on our Eventbrite. Don't get me wrong, we have those things, but the type of events and activities that maybe Chicago or New York or major cities may offer can be completely different. So like for instance, the tech and fashion, it was a huge event. I don't think that was something that probably would have happened here in Louisville, Kentucky, especially because there's not a huge fashion community or fashion scene here versus in Chicago. You get what I'm saying? So it matters where you're living and where you're traveling to. So definitely think about the geographic location. And number 3 of evaluating and creating a strategy of finding community, you need to ask yourself, how often will you evaluate if a certain community is serving you and that you need to look for a new one? Again, refer to the indicators of change, the negative indicators of change, if it's toxic, if you feel left out, there's a misalignment, all that stuff. And it's important to also understand if you like kind of like short-term community versus long-term communities. Like for instance, when I went to, again, the fashion and tech event in Chicago, it was a one-day event where I found community, right? In that day. I'm sure they don't have that event every single day or weekly. No, it's probably annual. Right? I do enjoy that kind of short-lived community. I go to those, I connect with people, and they connect me to other things. Versus you like to go somewhere where you go every single week or once a month or like a certain time of day, there's like a routine. You got to kind of see like which ones that you like to engage with and how often you'll engage with short-term and long-term and all that good stuff. You can put in your personal constitution whether you want to do like an annual or semi-annual review of the communities that you engage with, but I feel like if you are very in tune with your emotions and you're able to pick up very quickly that something's not for you or you're uncomfortable, you won't have to do the annual evaluation as much as you think you need to. But on top of that, you could add in your personal constitution, how often will you try to seek it out, reach out, and find new communities so you don't feel like you're doing the same thing all the time? Because I know for me, I don't like when there's too much routine. I like a little spontaneity. And if you couldn't tell already, a girl is somewhat of an extrovert. A girl likes to go out. A girl likes to have fun. A girl likes to chit chat. That's why I'm sitting in front of my camera every single day talking to you guys. This is my community. This is my personality. All right, that is all that I have today. I hope you guys enjoy that. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe, and definitely check out my other channels, Affirmly Sounds for soundscapes and Affirmly Active Affirmations for personalized affirmations and affirmation guided yoga.